Hello, hello, can you hear me? Hello, welcome to today's stream. Welcome back to heisei babtro. Today is, what episode number is this? Wait a second, I have it in the stream title, don't I? Or on the thumbnail. Is it episode 8? Are we up to episode 8 now? That's crazy. I cannot believe we made it this far into the podcast. I'm so happy for all the love and support I've been getting on this podcast and getting lots of cool people to be guests. It's been so much fun. So yeah, for those who are just popping in here for the first time, Heisei Babtro is the podcast where we yap about our favorite media from Japan's Heisei era. The Heisei era spanned from 1989 to 2019, which is a super wide range of time. But in regards to pop culture, can be best characterized by rapid technological advancements, the rising popularity of anime and Japanese video games both in Japan and overseas, as well as what many consider to be the golden age of places like Akihabara and Harajuku. Today's episode, I am going to be joined by Insane Lampshade to talk all about what it was like to be a fan of akb48 and Hello Project idol groups in the mid-2000s, which I'm really excited about because I love idols, I love idol music. But I've never really delved super deep into groups like akb48 or Morning Musume or any of like the really iconic idol groups. So I love hearing from people who are passionate about these groups and hearing about their experiences. So let's go ahead and see if Lampshade is ready to hop in. Hello, are you ready?
Yes.
Hello! Oh my gosh, welcome to Heisei Babtro!
Hey, thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here. Would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Insane Lampshade. I guess Lampshade is probably fine. A very old name, randomly generated from the early days of the internet. Yeah, I live in the UK and generally interested in anime, music, J-pop, idols, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear from you today all about your experiences, particularly being an idol fan during the Heisei era. Because you told me that you've been a fan of like akb48 and like Morning Musume and other Hello Project groups for a long time. So I would love to hear from you. But before we do, just for the way I usually do things on this podcast, let's imagine for a moment that we have some people in chat who might be very new to these topics. Could you, in your own words, explain what an idol is?
Yeah, sure. Okay, I guess so. The easiest way to think about it is like someone that you support. So, as in a pop star, and I mean these kind of exist in the West as well, but they're probably not given the title idol. But yeah, it's really about supporting someone or a group and kind of watching their journey as singers, performers, and so on. And I suppose also there's the aspect of idolizing them in some ways. I think for me that was probably less of an aspect, but certainly the younger fans and that would be idolizing these singers.
Yeah. What made you interested in idols? How did you get into this?
I think for me, mostly it was from anime, to be honest.
I think that's the same for a lot of people, myself included.
Yeah. I mean, so starting out, like you're kind of aware of Japanese music from theme songs from anime, and then kind of getting curious and looking up more, and you find there's concerts and things from some of these groups, and then in the idol aspect as opposed to anime music was more of an accident, I suppose. I think it was around the time YouTube had started up, and music videos and things were posted on there, and I think back then akb48 had uploaded some music videos, or someone had uploaded some music videos from them, and it was just very different. So akb48 and Hello Project tend to have quite large group sizes compared to Western music. So
Definitely.
something that I had not been used to at the time. So it was kind of curious. What is this? Why do they have so many people on stage? That sort of thing.
Exactly. I think I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure the first AKB48 video I saw, I think it's probably the same for a lot of people around my age especially, was Heavy Rotation. I think that's like a canon event for a lot of people who get into idols. Like they see Heavy Rotation for the first time and are like, oh my god, what is this?
Yeah, and I think actually a lot of AKB music videos are quite provocative.
Yeah, definitely.
In the sense that they created a lot of controversy with some of what they're doing, and for me it's the same. Not quite Heavy Rotation, but one of their earlier songs was Seifuku ga Jama wo Suru.
Oh, I know that
and
one.
that had quite a lot of controversy because of the content of the song. And I think that's how I initially had discovered them. There were some like news articles of, oh, there's a girl group singing about those kind of topics. Is that allowed? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
And went from there, I suppose.
So that's kind of how you got interested in idols, is kind of finding them from anime and from YouTube. What hooked you? Like, what was the moment that made you realize that this is something you were really passionate about?
I mean, I think in general the music it feels a lot more fun, and for me, having fun listening to music is quite important. So I tend to like all of the happy, cheesy music that's all super happy and so on. And like idol music has a lot of that, which maybe we don't get so much in Western music, and even more normal J-pop has less of that.
No, I definitely agree with that.
But yeah, and then so that was kind of the initial hook, and then what cemented it would be having friends that also listened to that music and watching concerts together. So we used to, this was back before concert streaming was a thing. So someone in our group would buy a DVD, and then we would all get together and watch it at their house or something like that. And
that sounds fun.
Yeah, so a lot of the early days were really sharing time with friends, watching concert DVDs, that sort of thing.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Now, what was the community like for you back then? Because I know, obviously, idol culture is still niche, but I feel like it's been a lot more accepted within, especially like otaku spaces. But I know it was less common, I think, for a lot of people in the West to be big idol fans. How did you find people that were interested in the same things, and what was that community like?
So I think there are probably a few different places. Like back then, the main communities online at least were forum based. So like Hello Project had and still actually has Hello Online, which was essentially the Western forum that everybody would go to communicate and so on. AKB48 had a place called Stage 48, which was another forum online, which also had a wiki and some other aspects to it. And then, so other than forums, which were kind of the discussion place for news, I suppose. Twitter was actually quite big for idol communities back then, and certainly like in the UK, where probably everybody who was a fan knew each other. Twitter in general was the place where we kind of kept up to date with not just the idol community itself, but actually what these people were doing day to day, and made friends and so on.
Oh, that's awesome. I feel like even now, I think Twitter is still, for better or for worse, still one of the best places to like keep up with idols.
Yeah,
I hope more idols join
unfortunately.
Blue Sky.
And well, the real challenge, I think, is the Japanese side. Like I see a lot of Western fans moving over to places like Blue Sky, but the official accounts and that, they're really not at the moment.
Yeah. One thing I am curious about, like I'm not super knowledgeable about like the specific members, but I know a big part of being an idol fan is having an oshi or even a kami-oshi. Who was your favorite idols back then when you were getting into these groups?
Yes, that's easy for me to answer. So Kusumi Koharu from Morning Musume. She was also a voice actor for Kirari in Kirarin Revolution, the anime. So it kind of like I mentioned earlier about liking the kind of the happy, hyperactive songs. She got a lot of solo songs that were very much like that, and I think a lot of people. They didn't like her maybe because her singing ability wasn't so good, and the kind of songs she got were very hyperactive like that, which some of the more serious fans maybe didn't like. But for me, that was like, okay, this is perfect. That's all I want.
Something I've always personally liked about some of these J-pop idols is that sometimes being the greatest vocalist or the greatest dancer isn't a requirement. It's more like the energy that they exude, which I think is really nice. Because I was also a big K-pop fan for a while, and the K-pop community is very, very interested more in like perfect idols who don't make any mistakes. So seeing that kind of different in the J-pop fan culture, I really enjoy.
Yeah. I think it is quite a difference, and you can see it as well in even like the modern groups between Japan and Korea. The Korean approach very much is, okay, you spend 10 years training or 5 years training or whatever, and you launch and you're like this ready, perfect group. But in Japan, there is this sort of understanding that you're following someone and watching them grow on stage. They're learning from the start, and it's kind of, I suppose, rarer in the idol community in Japan to have someone who's perfect already.
Yeah. Did you ever meet your Kamiyoshi and like see her perform?
Yes, I guess multiple times, to be honest.
I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, cool. So I guess, yeah, like I went to, when was the first time? Let me think. Probably 2008. I went to Japan with one of my friends, and we went to a few concerts there. So this was kind of the first time seeing them live, first time actually being, at a concert. I mean, that itself was amazing. And so Hello Project are slightly different in regard to meeting people compared to AKB. AKB very much at the start was set up as a group. What was the quote? Idols that you can meet.
Yeah.
Their whole setup was around selling like handshake tickets for singles and so on. But Hello Project felt a bit more distant. So the idea of getting to meet Koharu or anyone, it was a lot more difficult, at least from a Western person's perspective. But Morning Musume, the group, went to Anime Expo in, I think it was 2009.
Oh.
So that was like a really big event, and they had autograph sessions and so on. And basically most of the Western fandom, I would say, tried to go there that year
Makes
and
sense.
see them. So yeah, that was the event where I got to meet her and get some things signed.
Oh, that's awesome. I don't know, it seems like it must have been a big deal for Morning Musume to come to Anime Expo that year.
Yeah,
Was that one
I think
of the first times a major idol group went to the US?
I mean, certainly from my perspective, I would say yes. I mean, I think they had big singers there before. So, like for example, I think 2007 they had the cast from Haruhi there. So Ai Harano, Minori Chihara, and so on. But in terms of idol groups, yeah, I think this was the first time at least Morning Musume had gone to a Western country. I don't know if they'd travelled around Asia before, not sure. And likewise with AKB, I can't remember if they've been to Anime Expo or not, but they certainly went to Japan Expo in Europe, in France.
Ah.
But yeah, and then after that, there seemed to be a lot more. Like it was almost a sort of annual event that they would be traveling somewhere. Like they went to France the year after, and some other places around Asia, I believe. And yeah, like I said, AKB also went to France after that.
Do you have a favorite concert you've been to? Like one that's particularly memorable for you?
Favorite concert? I mean, there are probably two that stick in my memory. So the first AKB concert I went to, which was also 2008, the same trip, was the Himawari Gumi second stage. And so because like we didn't have DVDs of this because it was happening at the time, and it wasn't broadcast anywhere on the internet. So we went into it kind of not knowing most of the songs, but being in that sort of confined space, and with AKB how it was at the time, you could just queue up and buy tickets essentially every day to go see them. We probably saw them like 5 or 6 times, maybe more. Awesome. I can't remember. So by the end of that, you kind of know all of the songs, you know the dance moves, and it's a very small theatre compared to a huge concert. So for me, that experience and that concert, I still remember it fondly. And then yeah, the other one would be Koharu's Kiririn Revolution special concert, where it was basically all of the songs from the show. And it was also one of her last concerts because she announced her graduation shortly after that. So yeah, that was a special one as well, to be able to go to that.
That sounds awesome. Now, what do you prefer? Did you prefer the smaller, like more like theater shows, or the bigger concerts?
Definitely the smaller ones. I mean, the bigger concerts are fine, and the atmosphere is certainly different in a bigger concert. But I feel like sometimes in a bigger concert you can be sitting quite far away, and like then you're looking at the screens rather than watching them live, and it's kind of like, is there much difference to watching a DVD of this?
Yeah, I can see that.
But the challenge is, like these days, particularly with AKB, that they're such a big group that getting to any of those smaller concerts is a lot more difficult.
I once tried to buy tickets to see one of their theater shows, but I could not figure out how to do it. It wouldn't work for me, so I ended up being like, I guess I won't see them. Maybe one day.
Yeah. The irony is so they switched from allowing people to queue up to doing like an online lottery, and I think I don't know if they still have this, but they had a special system for if you're coming from overseas, there would be a guaranteed allocation, but it actually made it more difficult to go and see them because it was still a lottery. So even if you apply, there's no guarantee you could go. Whereas when they still had the queue, as long as you woke up early enough, I think it was like 5 a.m. that people started queuing up, you were basically guaranteed a ticket.
Yeah.
Even actually for Hello Project, like the concert ticket process nowadays, I would say, is actually more difficult because like now a lot of it's online, and a lot of the online systems require Japanese phone numbers, or they don't accept foreign credit cards. I mean, there's some platforms that do, but it's generally quite difficult. And reselling tickets is also more difficult because it's tied to your ID and so on. Whereas back when me and my friends used to go, like there was a shop in Harajuku which just sold tickets, resold tickets. They had a board up with, you know, row and seat numbers, and you could just pick them and like literally for the same day concert and so on.
That's really cool, actually. It's a shame they don't have that anymore. Because, reselling tickets online, it's so hard to figure out if it's even legit. Sometimes they're scams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they do ID checks now. Like I had a friend recently tell me about how, so he's Filipino, and he can get away with, like if the name on the ticket has a Japanese name, they don't tend to check, but you know, if I'm a white guy, essentially, if I turn up and the ticket's got a Japanese name on it, they're probably going to question me on that.
Yeah. And a lot of the time too, like when I went to a couple Chica Idol type performances when I was living in Japan, and I think that was the only way I could figure out how to buy tickets is like using, you know, cause a lot of them are like, you need a Japanese phone number and a Japanese address. Like, well, I currently have those, so they'll let me in.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine like as someone just visiting, like I don't know how I would get tickets that way.
No, I mean even I don't now, to be honest, unless the group has a process for overseas people. I mean, some of them do, but yeah, a lot of them don't.
Alright, let's see. So what would you say? So you said your Kamiyoshi was from Morning Musume, right?
Yes, yeah.
Do you have any other like specific memories or like things that happened during your time as a fan of her, or just Morning Musume as a whole?
I guess one thing that sticks in my mind is like at the Anime Expo,
I think your audio cut out.
Oh, sorry. At what point did it cut out?
You said Anime Expo.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, at Anime Expo, a group of fans organized a party for everyone, and
Oh,
they basically like booked a giant room with a stage and everything, and organized games, music, dancing, all Hello Project related.
oh my gosh, that's
Um,
awesome.
so yeah. I mean, it was kind of like it almost felt like the first time everyone was able to get together in a room, and sort of weird being able to talk about, idols in general, music in general, with people in person, because yeah, like you said, there wasn't that many of them back then.
No, that's awesome that you guys were able to get together like that.
Yeah. There were also other things at Hello, like the Anime Expo. So they did autograph signing, but they also had a special breakfast session for like, I think they had 100 tickets or something, and essentially you could spend 5 minutes on a table with them,
Oh my
like
gosh.
having a cup of coffee or tea or something, and but it was like a very quick rotation to get
I'm
through everyone.
sure. That's really cool though.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely the kind of thing that maybe was not done so much in Japan, at least for Hello Project. So I think we kind of got a special treatment there.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I feel like since I guess back then they weren't as popular overseas, it might have been easier, I think, to have more intimate interactions with them, as opposed to, I think, nowadays, with how much bigger the community is, for like safety reasons, they might not be able to do like meet and greets in the same way nowadays.
Yeah, definitely, and yeah, like you say, the safety aspect wasn't really a consideration at the time, but I guess a few incidents since then have
definitely
made that more difficult. But yeah, and I mean, like even within Japan, the popularity of like AKB grew massively in the like 2010s onwards. Like you couldn't go anywhere without seeing them, essentially.
Yeah.
And not only the popularity, I suppose, but also the size of the group, in terms of other related groups, different like SKE, NMB, the other cities groups, overseas groups as well. So it kind of felt like it burst into this sort of massive thing globally as well, with fans internationally.
Are there any differences that you've observed between going to a concert in a Western country and going to see them in Japan, like with the audience, and the way the audience interacts, or anything like that?
I would say so. At the time, the main difference between Western and Japanese idol groups, the concerts, would probably be that in Japan, most of the audience knows like the chants that people would sing during songs.
Yeah.
They have their own dancing style during concerts, wotage, which is kind of I guess a way of expressing your support for the idols, which a few people in the West were aware of and know about at the time, but it was definitely less so. I think nowadays concerts are quite different anyway. I suppose like smartphones weren't really a thing back then, and now like there's a lot of smartphones in concerts, a lot of
definitely.
people recording stuff. But yeah, and like the other thing, particularly with Hello Project, was the color-coded system for like glow sticks and members. So certainly in concerts in Japan, everyone would be wearing the color T-shirts for their member, having the glow stick color for their member. But again, in the West, because like a lot of people did buy merchandise from Japan and get it shipped, but a lot of people didn't have access to do that. So there was kind of less coordination on that side of things, I suppose, at Western concerts.
That makes sense. Yeah, I know Wotige has been getting more popular within at least the more niche idol fandoms overseas. Like, people are getting a lot into it recently. But it's still definitely a niche thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think even actually in idol groups as well, it's probably still quite niche, even within Japan. Like I remember having conversations with people there about how actually some fans don't like it because the people who do it either take up too much space or cause disruption during concerts and so on. So I think even there it's yeah.
Also, oh my gosh, crossing fandoms, thank you for the bits. Thank you. Welcome to stream. Yeah, I've seen, because I've been a few shows in Japan, and I did get to see Wotige happening in real time. That was crazy. The dedication. Remember, I went to a Heroines Live, because I wanted to support Nanimono, who are performing there. And they're one of the groups, I don't remember what group it was, but like there was just like this group of guys. Like, it was like choreographed, like they were all like ready and doing it. It was really cool to watch. I was more engaged watching them almost than the idols they were supporting. I was like, what are they doing? This is crazy.
and I mean, a lot of people practice like quite a lot before some of these concerts. I mean, I think cool. the cool thing, if you know how to do it and you're kind of entwined with the music, I suppose you're sort of part of it to some extent.
Did you ever get into Wotige? Did you ever learn any of the calls?
Yes, but not so much for like Hello Project. Like the standard AKB one. I don't know if you know about the like Tiger, Fire, Cyber, Diver. Yeah. So we knew that. But another anime idol singer, Haoko Momoi. So I'm a big fan of hers, and going to her concerts, I think Wotage was definitely a bigger part of that community. So yeah, I probably can't remember a lot now.
That's okay.
Certainly not move as much now compared to back then. But yeah, back then I knew a lot for her songs.
That's awesome. Actually, I would. It's not technically one of the main topics. I'd love to hear you talk about Momoi Haruko a little bit and like how you got into her. Because I've listened to a few of her songs. I really do love her voice. Like, I think Love.exe is like one of my favorite songs at the moment. It's really good.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a song that's you can go heavy on the Wotage on that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But yeah, I mean, how did I get into her? I think so purely from anime, to be honest. And this was actually before AKB or Hello Project.
Oh, really?
I think it was Deers, an anime which was basically not very good and a kind of copy of Chobits. But she had a song, well, Under 17, the group that she was in before she was solo, had a song for that called Love Slave. And I just remember thinking, wow, like her voice is quite unique. And then I remember finding a concert online somewhere that someone had uploaded. and like all of the under 17 songs were just kind of crazy, as well as seeing the crowd going crazy. It was like, yeah, okay, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's definitely a unique singer.
And she's still active. I know she did a collab with Fumoko recently, which I thought was really crazy.
Yeah, they've been fans of her for a long time. So again, there was a forum for Hauka Momoe fans like in the 2000s, and I think probably the total number of members of the forum was like less than 100 or something.
Oh wow.
So again, that's another sort of community from back then where pretty much everyone knew each other. But yeah, there's definitely a few kind of Western idols that have taken influence from her, I would say.
I can imagine.
She also put a lot of effort into attending overseas concerts and conventions. So she's like, I don't even know how many countries she's been to, but definitely, maybe even 20 or more. I don't know.
That's awesome. I think definitely her style of music is really something that appeals to a lot of like anime fans. So I can imagine having a bigger Western audience based on that, like her style.
Yeah, definitely. Although I would say it's probably a subset of anime fans. Like I think anime fans that are into that type of music, they're probably into a more specific anime than some other anime fans.
Oh yeah. Did you see her perform as well?
Oh yes. Probably more times than Hello Project or AKB. So I mean,
I see.
I was in her fan club. Well, actually, still am. And yeah, me and my friends loved her music and tried to go to as many concerts as we could. Like whenever she was in Europe, we would try to get to those. I think we went twice to Germany, and she came to the UK once. But yeah, definitely. I don't actually think I've been to one of her concerts in Japan though. So
I see.
Interesting difference.
And it's great as he's been overseas so many times.
Yeah.
Great for the
I think she
overseas
even
fans.
released a. Yeah. Like I think she even released a DVD of one of her overseas concerts. Maybe more than one.
Actually, fun fact, like I said, I'm very, very casually into her. I've only heard a couple of songs, but when I was in Japan at Book Off, I think it was, I actually grabbed, they had one of her DVDs. So I haven't watched it yet, but I actually own a Momoe Haruko DVD that I want to watch at some point. I literally grabbed it because it said had love.exe as one of the songs on the set list. So like, I would like to have this.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, definitely watch it. All of her concerts were amazing.
You have a favorite concert of hers that you've been to? Like one that you have a strongest like feelings towards, any special memories associated with?
I mean, probably. Well, so the first one I went to, which was actually Anime Expo in LA. I think it was 2007, so the same year as Aya Hirano was there and so on. Like, I mean, I was crying in the audience, like because I was like thinking, oh, I never imagined I would be able to see this person live. And obviously under 17 had broken up by that point, so it wasn't under 17, but she was still singing those songs. So yeah, that's probably always going to be special.
I can imagine.
And then like the other one would be in Germany. A lot of the Japanese fans had come as well. So that was, I think, my first time interacting so much with some of the fans from Japan, and they're a very great community. Like I'm still kind of in touch with some of them on Instagram and so on.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's definitely a memorable time as well.
That's great. Are there any specific songs from any of the groups, Mobile Haruko, akb48, Morning Musume, any specific songs that you find particularly memorable that, like, when you think back to the times of the early 2000s, what songs stick out to you?
Yeah, probably quite a lot. So I mean, from akb48, like Aitakata is the one that sticks in my memory as like the first song
classic
that I think was kind of big. And actually, whenever I've gone to karaoke with friends, that's the song that I sing.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, that one sticks in my head. And then when me and my friend was in Japan, Ogoe Diamond had just come out, and whenever we were walking past any record shops, they were always playing that song on like the little TV screen in the entrance.
Oh, wow.
So that stuck in my head purely because of walking and like hearing it everywhere while I was in Japan. I guess as for Morning Musume, it's actually probably more of their less known songs that are stuck in my head. So like I said, some of Koharu's songs, her individual songs. She also had a unit with Michishige Sayumi doing like Rainbow Pink, which was again a silly song. And sung quite badly, to be honest, but it sticks in my head. It's a fun song, though.
I see. I'll have to listen to some of these songs later. I say Morning Musume. I feel like I've listened to a lot more akb48 than I have Morning Musume, so definitely have to check some songs out later.
Yeah. I think the challenge with Morning Musume is they didn't embrace the internet as much as AKB did. So for a long time, they were trying to push their own streaming platform. So things weren't getting uploaded to YouTube, or they would take them down. And then they didn't put any of their songs on streaming services until like literally 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
So yeah, I mean, I think they kind of messed up on advertising themselves, I suppose. But yeah, and then I mean, even in Japan,
a lot.
Oh yeah, they're not great at embracing outside of Japan. But yeah, even in Japan, I think the popularity of Morning Musume had declined after the 2000s. They were very big at the early 2000s, and then just became very very niche, I suppose. Whereas AKB did the opposite. They exploded in popularity.
Oh yeah, like I feel like when I see people talking about like the classic idol groups, like akb48 gets talked about a lot more as like a modern group, whereas Morning Musume people are usually just reminiscing about them.
Yeah,
not talking about them as much as like at the same way that people talk about AKB. I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they still exist. They're still a Morning Musume group, but I mean, even for me, I can't name any of the current members or anything. Like I don't keep up with them, and I imagine it's the same for most people in Japan today. They wouldn't be able to name anyone who's currently in the group.
I've definitely always found it interesting as like just another difference between like, I guess, K-pop groups and J-pop groups. Not all, but a lot of the time, J-pop groups, like the bigger ones, members tend to change a lot over time. Like there are lots of member graduations and new members getting added, whereas in K-pop, like the group pretty much will stay the same until disbandment.
Yeah, and I think that's actually one of the reasons I kind of fell away from following AKB and Morning Musume. Like the people I enjoyed watching had graduated gradually. They added new members. I wasn't as invested in those, and also the kind of age difference as well. I think at one point Morning Musume added like a bunch of 11 or 12-year-olds, which was very awkward, to be honest.
I can imagine, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that is a difference. It does help with the longevity of the groups.
Yeah, like a lot of the big name K-pop groups from the past are no longer active, but akb48 still exists, just the members are completely different.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, again, I don't think I could name any current AKB members either. Although I do still kind of check in with some of their music. I suppose even the concept of like a graduation in a music group is quite different to other groups or like non-idol groups or Western music in general. It's a very unique thing to Japanese idol groups.
Yeah, because it's not just leaving the group. It's like they make it into an event almost.
Yeah, exactly. Like first the announcement, and then there's graduation concert, and it probably merchandise even as well around it.
It feels a lot more like impactful, I think, than like, oh yes, this person is no longer a member of the group. Like you get to like experience their leaving. Like I don't know, sometimes it makes it better, sometimes it makes it hurt a little bit more if it's like an idol you're very attached to.
Yeah, exactly. Although I would say there are sometimes people leave groups because of some controversy or something, and then they don't get their graduation.
But they still call it graduation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's also actually kind of difficult, like for Morning Musume as well, with the colors for your oshis. Having someone else join the group who then gets the same color as your previous oshi is quite difficult. It's like,
I can imagine,
it's not the same person, but they have the same color.
What was your oshi's color?
Red. Koharu was red. So definitely a lot easier color to get glow sticks for than some of the others. But I suppose nowadays it's all LED lights and stuff, so a lot easier.
What was it like experiencing Koharu's graduation?
I didn't want to watch it.
I can imagine, yeah.
So I didn't go to that concert or anything. I was like, I think at the time I got quite angry. I was like, why is this happening? Like she was still one of the younger members as well, so it was kind of shocking at the time that she wanted to leave. Because like in my head I had thought, okay, these are the members that are going to graduate next, and it'll be a few years before she goes. And she was also kind of, I guess, at the peak of her popularity with regard to like Kirarin Revolution and other things that she was doing. So yeah, I didn't want to watch it at first. I think probably I watched it maybe even 6 months or a year later. But yeah, no, it's kind of difficult. And she actually had some controversy where I think she was in an interview afterwards saying that she saw the group as a stepping stone to getting more famous. And like other members of the group said they didn't actually like her, stuff like that.
Dang.
So yeah, not ideal.
Did she continue performing as a soloist after? What was her career like after Mori Musume?
No, basically. So
Oh.
I think she continued on. She had a slot on a kids' TV show in the morning, which I think she basically continued until her contract ran out on that, and then she published a book which was like an autobiography sort of. But again, in an interview a few, like, I don't know if it was years or months later, she kind of said that someone else wrote the book and it was, some of it was made up and stuff like that. And then, so she wanted to do fashion and modeling and that sort of thing. I think, I mean, she did that and still does, but I like mostly now, as far as I understand, she's just a social media influencer, kind of selling cosmetics or advertising things. So yeah, not so much the stepping stone that she was talking
that's
about.
unfortunate.
Yeah, and I don't think she ever performed any songs after leaving. Like, to be honest, it sounds like actually she didn't enjoy it, maybe.
Yeah. You know, it's always a little bit sad when like an idol leaves their group and then stops being an idol. Like, it's understandable, you know. Being an idol is definitely not for everyone, and sometimes I think people get into it, be like, oh, this will be really fun, and then maybe it's not as fun as you were expecting.
Yeah.
So that's
and
fair.
I think there's
That can
definitely...
be sad as a fan, and be like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't like it.
I mean, I think there's definitely a darker side to it. I mean, particularly at the age some of these people start their careers, they're often not fully mentally developed to kind of deal with what's happening. And then some of the fan groups can be quite difficult, I suppose. And particularly these groups at the time were largely male fans, so that dynamic isn't great.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are some idols that have graduated who kind of speak out on some of these topics today, like Wada Ayaka, who was in Smilage or Angami. She writes a lot about her time as an idol and the kind of impact it had on her from like a depression perspective, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So there are kind of people who talk about those sort of things, but often it is not mentioned or kind of hidden sometimes.
Yeah. I know for me, I'm still a very big fan of Baby Metal. And I remember back when Yui left Baby Metal, that was like a whole ordeal. And like, I know some fans still haven't fully accepted her leaving. Like, of course, we still don't know like the actual reason why she left, but honestly, for me, I think at this point, it's probably because she didn't want to be in Baby Metal anymore. Which makes sense, since she left the group when she was like 18 or 19, so like, he was a member for most of her childhood, so definitely understandable to realize as an adult that maybe it's not for you anymore. I'm sure that's the same for a lot of idols who started when they were very young. Some of them really love it, and then some of them are like, actually, I'd like to do something else with my life now.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of them, like, they miss out on school as well. They miss out on having friends.
Yeah.
there's a lot of restrictions, like with regard to dating and so on, or at least publicly there are restrictions. Their contracts can be quite brutal.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think it is a difficult industry to survive in and continue. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think the industry is improving.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I don't know how
Hopefully.
much it is, although I would say it does kind of look like the Korean side is probably worse in some ways.
Yeah, honestly, things like I still listen to some K-pop groups casually, but I'm not as into it as I was a while back. I feel like every time I hear something about a K-pop group, it's some sort of drama. Like the new Titan situation, I think it's kind of like disillusioned me a little bit.
Yeah,
All the
exactly.
stuff going on with
Well,
new
there's-
teams, I'm like, I don't know if I want to engage with this anymore. It's not bringing me joy.
No, yeah, exactly. And it kind of makes you think, should I continue supporting the other
Yeah.
groups from the same company?
It's rough.
Makes it quite difficult. Yeah, and even like in Japan, one of the more recent idol groups, Miai,
Yeah.
they like 4 of their members left at the end of the year because of some internal problems with management and bullying accusations, that sort of thing. But the group's still continuing, so you have this question of do you carry on supporting that group, or do you kind of avoid it?
Yeah, I've always wondered what it feels like to be a member of a group with a situation going on like that, where like, how do you keep going? How do you keep performing knowing that all of this is going on? Like, it must be really rough on the other members.
Yeah, exactly. I think one of them in this group at least had said that they had to evaluate why they became an idol in the first place, and that's what they're holding on to.
Yeah.
That if they leave because of this, then they're going against their original desires or something like that. But yeah, I think the industry definitely has a lot more to do to improve things.
Definitely. Almost for me, I think that's why Chica idols are so appealing, because since they're not really famous necessarily, and they're more doing out of pure passion. So like having that layer of like fame and huge success being taken away, since they're more of an underground niche group, I think it makes it feel a little bit more comfortable to be a fan of. You can tell they're here because they love it and not because they're in it for fame or that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a couple of groups that I follow where it's like it's basically just the group plus one producer making some songs, and you can kind of tell that okay, this is just them. There's no company. They're doing everything. They're running their websites. They're arranging concerts and venues themselves. So yeah, I think it's a lot easier to support that kind of group from an ethical perspective. Anyway, you can see they're enjoying it.
Do you have any favorite Chica groups that you're currently following?
Probably the number one that comes to my head is .bpm. So they're kind of making a sound. Their music sound is quite nostalgic and sort of reminds me of Morning Musume like in the 2000s. As a group, they're not. They don't remind me as a group of that, but the music sound is kind of quite like that. So yeah, I definitely recommend them. .bpm.
I'll check them out. Always excited to find new idol groups to listen to.
Are there any you're listening to at the moment?
I mean, I've been a fan of the group Merco Mermo because of Heidi, who's a member. Although she's graduating soon, I'm so sad. But I actually got to see them perform once last year in Japan. And it was really cool to see them because they're like a smaller, they're a smaller group. And so I got to like be right up in front at the stage. I have to be in the very front to see them because like there weren't that many people there. That was really exciting.
Nice.
And their music is really cool.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing about the smaller groups. Like being in those smaller venues, you get a very different experience. It's a lot more kind of close together. Also, just the variety of idols. Like, there's pretty much a group for anything. If you're into a particular type of person or type of sound or style of clothes, nowadays you can basically find a group for any taste you've got.
Yeah, I love, because I've been to a couple like the more Taiban style shows, and it's really crazy seeing like a really, really like cutesy, like very orthodox idol style group. And then the next group up is really edgy with like darker aesthetics. More rock heavy music. Like, it's so funny. Yeah, I did see Baby Metal when they came to London a few years back. It was definitely entertaining. Not my usual type of music, to be honest, but the energy and performance was good. Yeah, I love Baby Metal. I saw them once in Boston a while back, like pre-pandemic. And yeah, they're amazing. Nice. Yeah, it does feel like these days we get more Japanese artists coming overseas. At least in the UK, like we basically didn't have any when I first got into the scene, but now there's at least some groups coming. Yeah, same in the US, of course. Like, I feel like it's still more common if like a Japanese group is gonna come. They're probably gonna come to LA or to California, but I think more and more recently I've been seeing like groups coming to like conventions, at least like more around this country, which I think is great. Not more concerts too, like touring and going to multiple US cities. Was not as common in the past. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the same in like Europe as well. Historically, they would just go to one place, one convention, and most often that would be Japan Expo in Paris because it's the biggest. But like, I think now they do seem to do more tours around Europe. So coming to cities in different countries and so on. Even some of the smaller idol groups are doing so. Like, for example, there's another group, Pim Pom Pam Pom, which I've been listening to. They came to like, what was it, France, UK and Poland, I think, and you know, their concerts have maybe 50 people at them. They're not very big, but they're still kind of coming overseas and doing these performances. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that, like, because the audience has been getting bigger overseas for idols, more idol groups are able to come overseas and meet foreign fans.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
like the fans
definitely.
have always existed, they just were less common. So now that there's more of us out there, there's more of a reason for these groups to come overseas.
Yeah, and I guess it would be quite embarrassing if like a big group from Japan came overseas and there weren't enough fans to fill the venue.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, now it's a lot easier. Like we have groups like Yoasobi filling our biggest venue in London. But yeah, definitely living in an era where access is easier.
How would you say being a fan of these idol groups impacted your life? Kind of a big question, but like, how do you think your life has changed because of the idols you supported over the years?
Well, I think actually, like a lot of my friends today are because of these groups. So, for example, the Morning Musume concert in LA, because a lot of the community were going there, and this was the first time most people had met up. Like I remember the evening before the concert, I think someone had organized dinner, and we were going to just get dinner as a group. And I met people who essentially were living like in the same city as me, who I'd never met before and didn't know that they were into this. And like obviously we became friends after that, and still are today. And yeah, I mean, I think there's multiple cases of stuff like that. People you meet on Twitter, who I'm still in contact with. Like I mentioned earlier, some of the Hauka Momoi fans from Japan and so on. Yeah, I think friends is probably the biggest impact I would say it's had on my life.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, I love that idols can really bring people together. Well, I think that one of the biggest parts of being an idol fan is, being supportive of that idol. So having other people to share and support your idols with you, I think is such a great part of the fandom and the community.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's like the core aspect of it for me.
Is there anything you would want to do over again? Like, every time you're like, man, I want to go back to this point as an idol fan and do something different or re-experience something?
Do something different? Probably not. No, I mean, I think I would do everything the same again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, definitely, I would love to relive some of those concerts and just go back and experience that again.
Yeah.
I mean, like I obviously got some of them on DVD and so on, but being there in person for some of these groups that don't exist is quite a big thing, I suppose.
Yeah.
And actually, there's some groups that I didn't get a chance to see before they disbanded. So maybe if I was going to do something different, I would try to get to one of their concerts or something.
What are some of the groups that you didn't get to see live?
So a very small group called Harenchi Punch. They did one song for very bad anime, Chokoto Sister. I definitely wouldn't recommend watching that. But they were a fun group, and like one of their members left, and then they changed the direction of the band and so on. But for me, actually, they only released like one album of songs as that group, and I still listen to that today. It's an amazing collection of pop songs that I would have loved to have seen live, but they've long disbanded.
Let's see. Now, are there any other like stories or memories you want to share from any period, any group?
I did make some notes somewhere. Let me check what we've not what we've not covered.
Of course, take your time.
This. So queuing up for AKB. So I mentioned, right, that you kind of had to be there at 5 a.m. To queue for tickets at the time. So me and my friend, basically, we had found a maid cafe in Akihabara that was open all night, essentially. And we basically spent the night there, drinking beer and playing darts. So the maid cafe was Little PSX. I think that's shut down now. But yeah, we basically stayed there all night until 5 a.m. and then left and immediately joined the queue for the AKB concert.
Oh man.
And that was entertaining because we were quite drunk and the Japanese people in the queue were finding it very funny.
I can imagine. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I think it was like I think it was a February or something, and it was snowing everywhere. So like there's photos of me passed out on the street at like 6 a.m. covered in snow and things, queuing up for AKB. So yeah, lots of kind of fun memories like that. I mean, even seeing the fans back then in Japan and how they was quite different to the West. So like AKB fans, at least in 2008, had a very different feeling, I think, to maybe how they are now. Like at the theatre, there's a pachinko parlor on the ground floor, and if you looked at a lot of the people going into the pachinko parlor, it seemed like there was a lot of overlap between those people and the people who were queuing up. And I don't know, like we were joking at the time that did some of them join the wrong queue by accident or something.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that felt quite different to like Hello Project fans. Hello Project fans felt very much more idol heavy, kind of more older men, I suppose. So yeah, a bit different feeling there. Although there were still women in those groups, but proportionally less.
I
suppose the other thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say the other thing I haven't spoken about was just like photo collecting. So I remembered that this was a big thing at Hello Project concerts, that the groups would sell photographs which were often like randomly distributed. You would get a random photo when you buy something. Yeah, it's sort of, but not checkies, more
different.
Yeah, just like a photo, not Polaroid or anything.
Okay.
So at the concerts, people would like set a blanket down on the street and put all of the photos that they wanted to trade, because they wanted the photos of their oshi. And that was kind of at least from my perspective, something that was unique to Hello Project concerts.
So it reminds me a little bit of like K-pop photo cards, where you get like a randomized one in your album and then people trade for the member they want.
Yeah, very much like that. I mean, I think even in the West, people were doing that via the forums and stuff. There were trading threads and things back then. But yeah, I suppose nowadays with the smaller idol groups, it's more checkies and handshake events and that sort of thing, and less random photos that you're trading with each other. But sounds like it's happening in K-pop. Wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, no, it's been a big thing in K-pop for a while. And part of the reason why K-pop albums have so many versions nowadays, because every version has different types of photo cards in them, so you have to buy all of them. So it's very consumerist in K-pop.
Oh, yeah. I think AKB also kind of pioneered doing that, but for handshake tickets. Like having lots of different versions of the singles being sold, and you could buy as many as you want for handshake tickets with them.
Yeah.
I think that's also one reason why they were constantly at the top of the charts in Japan for many years, was
that makes
essentially
sense.
people buying multiple copies.
It's probably the same for some K-pop groups.
Yeah. Although nowadays it's probably more difficult with streaming numbers. I think at least in Japan they include streaming in the chart count now.
What kinds of merch have you collected over the years for your favorite groups?
So for me, mostly like t-shirts. So I like to generally just buy a t-shirt for every concert I've been to, and this applies even to Western concerts, Western groups, and that. So yeah, lots of t-shirts, lots of t-shirts that I don't wear, but they exist. Otherwise, yeah, DVDs, CDs, some signed stuff, but not so much, and then some checkies for smaller groups. Yeah, that's mostly it. I'm not so much into like the sort of more modern acrylic stands and things like that. I think they just kind of take up a lot of space.
Yeah. I think you were talking about it a little bit before, but what do you think are some of the main differences you've observed between the Japanese fans of these groups and Western fans?
Yeah, so I think at the time there were more women in the Western fan groups that I observed, at least. In the Japanese fan groups for Morning Musume and AKB, at least in the 2000s, was very much mostly men.
Yeah.
I think that has changed quite a lot since then. And also actually worth pointing out that some of the other Hello Project groups, like Cute, they were more well known for having female fans in Japan.
Yeah.
So I did go to one of their concerts, and yeah, the crowd was definitely much more female. But yeah, I think in the West it was generally a more balanced community, at least early on. I suppose otherwise the the other difference would be how people got their information. I mean, like a lot of information in the West is secondhand due to like language barriers and stuff. Like there would be news blogs and so on translating articles, or people giving concert reports and so on. Whereas in Japan, obviously, it's a lot easier to get first-hand information, either directly from the groups or by attending things yourself. So like a lot of Western groups, the knowledge gap was quite big compared to the Japanese fans.
Yeah, fan translators were like super important back then, especially.
Yeah. I mean, there were like groups I remember for Hello Project translating variety shows and things with subtitles and so on. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, maybe in terms of differences, I think there was probably a lot more hardcore Japanese fans, purely, again, because of the distance, that I think in the West, it's very difficult to be a hardcore fan because you can't go to every concert. Going to one concert is a big deal. Whereas in Japan, there's a lot of fans that literally go to every concert that they have. I don't know how they afford that, but they exist.
No, it's crazy. Also, I think that kind of thing is seen as different, maybe in Japanese and Western fandoms. So I remember for a while in the baby metal fan community, I know some fans were looked down on almost for attending like every single one of like a baby metal's US tour dates. And there were people that would go to every single one. People would be like, why are you getting tickets to all of them? Stop. Save room for the rest of us. Whereas maybe it's more normal in Japan. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's definitely more normal. I mean, it's actually an interesting thing that, like, if there's a Western group that I like that's doing a concert, I would only think about going to one. Like, I wouldn't think about attending multiple. But if there were a Japanese band doing maybe a tour of Europe, I might even discuss with friends, hey, should we go to like France and the one in London or something like that. But I think that's more just because it's so rare that some of these groups come, that you want to spend as much time as you can. Whereas for like a Western group, it's like, okay, they tour here every year. It's fine.
Yeah, I can see that.
One difference I just realized, actually, I think in Western communities, there's a lot of overlap with anime fans.
Yeah.
So a lot of the fan groups have that in common as well. Whereas in Japan, there's a lot of people who are just idol fans, or they're just fans of that group. They're not into the whole anime culture or anything like that. So yeah, I think that's another difference.
No, it definitely makes sense. I think for a lot of Western fans, they get into Japanese music because of anime. Like, that was their first way of experiencing it, whereas obviously in Japan, it's a lot easier to discover idol music just as its own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
What would you recommend to newer fans who maybe want to get into akb48 or Hello Project or anything like that? What do you think would be a good gateway for those people?
Good gateway is probably, first of all, just literally go to YouTube and look at their most popular music videos. Like, I think if you watch their most popular videos, and 2 or 3 of each group or whatever. If you like any of those songs, then yeah, you can go deeper and get into it. But if you find that you watch them and actually, this doesn't interest me, or the songs, you don't like the songs, then there's no point.
Of course.
But yeah, if you watch the music videos and you kind of like it, then I would say try and find some concerts. And I mean, I think there are some on like YouTube and other places, or purchasing DVDs and things. But yeah, the concerts, watching a full concert, particularly some of the older concerts, where like pre-smartphone, where people are actually kind of, the atmosphere is a bit different and like wild in some cases.
Yeah.
Watching those gives you a good introduction to how that music is different, and how the kind of culture of being a fan in a concert is different.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've always loved watching idol like live performances, almost more than the music videos sometimes. The music videos are always good, but there's something just special, I think, about seeing them actually performing.
Yeah, definitely.
The energy is different.
Yeah. I don't know, it feels more real, as in like a music video, is kind of directed and scripted and so on. But yeah, it's definitely the concerts are the way to go.
Even for like anime idols, like I love watching like the Love Live concerts and the Idolmaster concerts. Like, it's a completely different experience, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
What idols are you listening to the most these days? Any groups that you would recommend? I know you mentioned .bpm earlier.
Yes, yeah, definitely .bpm. Pim Pom Pam Pom. They're a very strange group. I mean, I think I can't really describe what they are without watching them. But they do upload to their YouTube channel with English subtitles.
Oh.
So yeah, definitely check out some of their songs. They do a lot of backstage non-music related videos, like recording, music creation, and so on.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, I think they're calling them an idol group may be the wrong description.
I see. I'll definitely check them out. I'm interested.
Yeah, I think so. Other than that, I mean, some of the bigger ones like Fruit Zipper and QT Street and some of those groups, like I listen to some of their songs and enjoy it. I'm not so much into, like, I don't follow them as a group, but their songs are quite good.
I would say these days for me, the group I listen to the most is probably Nanimono. I actually did get to see live last year. They were so cool. I really enjoy their music, and like their aesthetics are really cool. They've got a very like cybercore kind of aesthetic, which I think is really fun.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think I've heard any of their. I'll check my Spotify later. Maybe I have. It almost feels like these days we're kind of spoilt for choice. There's a lot of groups and a lot of music being produced, and so yeah, there's definitely a lot out there. It's kind of hard to find though the good quality ones, or the ones that you like.
Yeah, definitely. And also, since internet made them much more accessible, it's easier to find more groups to listen to. Whereas back in the day, like, there weren't as many options that were easily accessible in the West.
Exactly. I mean, even concert live streaming now is like a lot of groups are doing that, and accessible for overseas people as well. So yeah, I mean that's definitely made things a lot easier and a lot more accessible.
Definitely.
Even the fan clubs, like I remember at the time, the Japanese fan clubs were basically impossible for anyone to join. Like you could kind of do it if you had a Japanese forwarding address, but then there was actually no benefit to what you were getting from the fan club. Whereas now a lot of groups have like a fan club with explicit, okay, you're an overseas member, you have some special privileges for overseas members and that sort of thing. I think the K-pop influence has kind of pushed a lot of Japanese groups to do that.
Oh, definitely. And because K-pop, I think, really wants to be more global, so they push their music and groups internationally more so than J-pop groups used to. So, thankfully, I think it's getting more... J-pop's getting more popular. Maybe not quite to the same level as K-pop, but it's getting there.
Yeah. I'm kind of okay if it stays how it is, as in, like it's like we mentioned earlier, it's a lot more difficult to get to concerts and things if the group is like super popular. Getting tickets and stuff is a lot more tricky. But yeah, I mean, I think if Japan could make some of their things more accessible to overseas people, it would definitely help.
Oh, definitely.
Whether they want to or not is a different question.
Exactly. Yeah, I do think it's crazy that Morning Musume only like a couple of weeks ago was added to Spotify.
Yeah. That was big news. I mean, there were a lot of people that I've not seen online in years suddenly talking about Morning Musume and other groups. So yeah, I mean, there's still actually a lot that's missing from Hello Project. So particularly some of the smaller, like less well-known songs and so on. They haven't uploaded everything.
Yeah.
But at least they're kind of moving in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. Do you still go to idol shows?
Not so much. I mean, unless a group is coming overseas, like I haven't been to Japan in like 10 years or more now. But if a group comes overseas, I'll go. Yeah, like I said, Pim Pom Pam Pom came to London last year. Perfume came a few years back. I don't know if you call them an idol group, but
I would say idol adjacent.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, when there's a group that interests me that comes to the UK or maybe nearby, then yeah, I would go. I think I'd like to go to Japan again and go to some of the smaller groups that I'm following at the moment. But yeah, these days just planning stuff with time and other responsibilities is a lot more difficult.
I can imagine, yeah. Are there any groups that you hope to see sometime in the future?
Yeah, I mean, .bpm is like the number one group that I want to see, purely because their concerts do give me that nostalgic feeling. Their shop, they're selling like concert DVDs and stuff, so it's accessible to get some of their past concerts. But yeah, seeing them in person would be good.
I hope you're able to go to Japan sometime in the future and see them perform. Or if they come to the UK, that would also be awesome.
Yeah. I think that's less likely given their size, but
you
we'll
never
see.
know. Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there
Are there any
anything
groups
else?
that?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, are there any groups that you've seen recently live?
Recently, only groups I've seen were I saw Merko Mermo and Nanimono, and I feel like I'm missing someone. Who else did I see? What did I see last year? Oh, during the concert. Yeah, one of my most memorable moments from the concert I saw, the Heroines Live, where Nanimono performed. There was this other group. I think their name is Ion. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the group. I might be wrong. But I never listened to them before. But I remember their performance was really great. And I liked the members because they're all color-coded. And so, like, for, like, the first little bit, I was like, I'm not sure what color to change my light stick to, because, you know, I don't know the members that well. But then, like, I noticed around me all of the other, like, there were a lot of women in the audience, actually, for this concert, which was cool. And, like, all of them had their light sticks on for the green member. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I have to join them and support the green member. And she was really cute. So I was like, that was such a fun little moment.
Nice. Yeah, I think some of these concerts where multiple groups are there are actually quite good for finding new groups to follow.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, obviously difficult to attend those as someone overseas.
Yeah, the only reason I could go was because I was still living in Japan at the time, so I had a phone number that worked, so I could use that to buy my tickets. Nice. But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to share before we start wrapping up? Any other stories or anything else that you might want to mention that you maybe haven't yet?
Not really. No, I think we've probably covered everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was so much fun. I loved hearing from you about your experiences being an idol fan in the 2000s. It sounds, honestly, like it was really fun. Like, I was definitely too young at the time to get into idols back then, but, you know, I started getting into anime and stuff as a teenager in, like, the 2010s.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a fun time. Definitely a fun time, and yeah, I would go back again and do it all again for sure.
But yeah, before we start wrapping up completely, is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want people to... Anywhere people can follow you if they want to? I know you're not like a content creator necessarily, but if there's anything at all you want to share.
I mean, yeah, you can follow my YouTube account, Insane Lampshade. There's some old idol videos and stuff on there, as well as a bunch of other random stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't really post much these days online, but you can probably search my name and find me in places if you want to.
Yeah. Well, it was great. I'm so glad that you wanted to be on the podcast. It was great talking with you.
Likewise. Yeah, definitely enjoyable. Good to kind of reminisce about some of this old stuff. And thanks for having me.
No problem. Well, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. But one last time, goodbye. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Well, yeah, that is where we are going to wrap up for today's podcast. But yeah, that was so much fun. I love just yapping with people about what they love and hearing about their experiences. That's the main reason why I created this podcast. So I could hear people talk about the things that make them excited from the heisei era. So yeah, again, we're gonna wrap up here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out today. If you're watching me on YouTube and you haven't already, wait, I just made myself too big. The bite is getting cut off. Now! There we go. That was distracting me. Anyway, if you're watching me on YouTube and you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed. If you're watching me on Twitch, make sure you are following. You could also subscribe if you want to, only if you want to. My next stream will be tomorrow at 8 p.m. EST. Yes, I know what day it is. Tomorrow, Sunday, so 8 p.m. EST. I'm gonna be doing some more Danganronpa with Mistrunner. I'm gonna have an announcement tomorrow. So, stay tuned for an announcement tomorrow. I don't have a specific announcement yet. I'm still scheduling the rest of the March episodes for heisei babtro, so stay tuned. I'll let you know soon, hopefully, on what the next episode will be. I think I know what it's gonna be, but I have to confirm with a couple people first to make sure. But heisei babtro was definitely gonna be continuing into March, so don't worry. But I'm also gonna have another announcement tomorrow. I will also be posting my schedule for the first week of March. I think my schedule, I'll probably put it up literally like after stream. I think I finished the schedule for next week. So I'll be posting that soon on Discord and social media and everything. But yeah, I think with all of that out of the way, thank you guys so much for hanging out. If you're watching me on Twitch right now, do not go anywhere because we will be raiding someone. Who are we raiding? Who is live? Let me see. Oh yeah! Let's go ahead and raid into Blind Libra, who is celebrating their affiliate anniversary. I think looks like Blind Libra might be playing a visual novel right now. So let's go and support Blind Libra and say hello. Everyone hop into the raid, it will get you channel points. Everybody hop into the raid. And yeah. Again, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day or night, wherever you are. And I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Bye bye. Bye bye.